I mean, that's very mature as an artist to realize that, to know that they have weaknesses and strengths. Making music isn't all just like boop-a-doo, boop-a-doo, you know, just like clicking around on your Blinky board. Is that when they're going back and forth? Okay.
Yeah, they're going back and forth. It's like the synergy between the two of them. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Michelle, everybody's favorite Nuna, and we have a very special guest on the channel today, and that is Matthew TRYBA, who is a music producer. If you've been following along with my channel, you know that we have watched and had Matthew break down some of Treasure's recording behinds. Today, we're keeping it in the YG family, and we are going to be watching some of the BABYMONSTER recording behinds. We love these girls. But before I hop into that and how we know about BABYMONSTER, I'm going to have Matthew introduce himself. Tell us a little about yourself.
Hi, I'm Matthew TRYBA. I'm a producer and songwriter, and I've engineered some major label records. You can see Taylor Swift behind us, OneRepublic, some Ariana Grande, Adele, Maroon 5, independent artists all over the globe. I do pop, alt-pop production, a little bit of dark pop, and yeah.
Dark pop.
Yeah.
Interested to hear what dark pop is about. And for those of you that are new to the channel and don't know, Matthew is also my husband. So that is what he is doing here today. So today we are going to be watching YG Production Episode 1, the making of BABYMONSTER's SHEESH documentary. And like I mentioned, we know a little bit more so me than Matthew, but we know a bit about the girls because we watched their pre-debut episodes on YG's channel. So Matthew's actually heard all of them sing before. It's been a little while. Yeah. I certainly keep up with BABYMONSTER more, but you really haven't heard, maybe in the car.
In the car.
Yeah, but you haven't really heard some of their music.
No.
So this is going to be really, really fun. Just like with the Treasure episodes, Matthew is going to watch the behind production, vocals, in studio, and kind of break that down for us and tell us what's going on from his experience. So BABYMONSTER is a newer group. I'm going to intro Matthew to them again with names and whatnot. But before we get into that, BABYMONSTER debuted later in 2023. So for all intents and purposes, they are a newer group. You've worked with a lot of big major label hitters, but like you said, you've also worked with a lot of independent artists. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about what it's like to work with some newer artists, newer entertainers, people that are more new to the biz.
Yeah, it's definitely a different energy. And I think that's something that they can bring a lot of is kind of this young, fresh, untainted energy that they're not jaded by the industry in any way. And they're full of dreams, which is good, because music is a tough industry, and I've been in it for a while, and there can be days where I can feel a little jaded, so it can be refreshing when they can come in and just have that like raw energy that their life and their artistry is so full of potential. Mm-hmm. And, with a little bit of guidance and some shaping, we can hopefully realize that potential to its fullest.
Yeah. Do you find that it's hard to pull some of those younger, not even younger, but like newer, fresher artists out of their shell, like initially in studio? Are there some challenges that maybe newer artists may face than like some veterans?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be getting comfortable in front of the microphone takes time. So getting comfortable recording your own vocal takes time, and how to attack that in the studio. And then I would say getting comfortable creatively also takes time. A lot of young artists, and we all go through this, myself included, we get so focused on wanting to prove that we're good and that we're smart and that we have something to offer to the world. And we can kind of forget the message of that music is emotional communication. First and foremost, it's not proving how smart we are. So a lot of young artists, we can go through that phase, and then you have to work through it, and you finally will get to the point of I'm just letting the art flow through me rather than me trying to make the art something it doesn't want to be.
Mm. Have you ever worked with someone in studio, not even just someone who's a newer artist, but even like the more experienced artists you've worked with? Have you ever worked with anyone in studio where you were just like, they've got it? Whatever it may be, you're like, this person's got it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, obviously Ryan Tedder, OneRepublic has it. Like, that's obvious. Like, you just hear him sing and you just go like, how did you do that? How did you think of that melody? you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, I've had some few artists, like independent artists, that have just really emotive X Factor voices that you just go, dang, like that's working. There becomes a point where, you know, you have all the track and the beat going, and then it sounds okay, and then all of a sudden they sing, and then it sounds like a record, and you're like, whoa, like that's really cool.
Yeah, awesome. Well, you've certainly run the gamut with the kind of artists and the experience that they have, so that's really fun. I'm excited for you to see Baby Monster Day, because I adore these girls. I think they're so incredibly talented. Like I said, over a year ago now, since they debuted in 2023, maybe close to 2 years ago, Matthew watched some of those videos with me. But let's give Matthew a little bitty refresher real quick before we hop into things. So real quick for you, Baby Monster members profile and facts. As you can see, they are a 7-member group. They debuted November 27th, 2023. And the members include Ruka. She is their main dancer and main rapper, born in 2002.
Oh my gosh.
Don't say anything. I know we're always aging us on this channel, but okay. Yeah. Yes, 2002. I said 2002. But she is one of their rappers.
Cool.
She is from Japan.
Okay.
Yes. Farita, she is Thai. She's one of their vocalists. She was born in 2005. And I know we're zooming through these, but this is just a refresher for Matthew. Asa, she is the main rapper.
Okay.
Also a vocalist and dancer, born in 2006. Ayeon, she is Korean. She is the one that sang the
Dangerously?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, exactly.
Heard that a lot.
Yes, I still watch that to this
repeat
day.
a lot.
I do still watch that even today. She was born in 2007. She's their main vocalist, rapper, dancer, center. And she's Korean. Rami, she went by Haram in the pre-show, so you may know her as that. She's a killer vocalist as well. She's also main vocalist. She's Korean, born in 2007. Rora was one of my personal favorites in the pre-debut show. She's born in 2008. She's the lead vocalist in the visual, and she is Korean. And then our Maknae Chiquita, she was blonde and had bangs. So you may remember her looking like that. She is our Maknae. She is also Thai, and she's born in 2009.
Okay, it's her stage name.
And she's vocalist, dancer, rapper Maknae.
Chiquita in Spanish means like little.
Oh, cute. Yeah, well, her Thai name is very, very, very
spelled
long.
Differently, but yeah. So 2 Thai members, okay.
So with that super duper fast rundown, we are going to watch YG Production Episode 1, the making of Baby Monster's SHEESH documentary, and then we'll watch the music video for SHEESH.
Cool.
This is the YG building. This is the outside of it.
The system at YG is very free.
Wow.
At the same time, we're all focused on the same and the vision that the YG DNA and the music. We used to just hang out, work on music, communicate with each other and be able to come up with ideas with each other. And it's a very free-flowing atmosphere. It's a place where we all hang out. Producers and artists find their unique sound, continually trying.
One thing that's kind of interesting, you see they have the computer monitor hooked up to the mic stand.
Yeah, I didn't see that in the other ones with Treasure.
Yeah, maybe we just couldn't see it, but that really helps give the vocalist confidence. You can either have like their lyrics up there, or you can be showing them Pro Tools, so they can see like, oh, I'm about to come in here. Because if they're just in the dark, it can be intimidating or confusing, or like you may not know like, oh, am I doing this harmony now? So that just helps the artist see visually what's happening in the arrangement. So here in my studio, the artist is just standing right behind us and the computer monitors in front of us, so they can just see what I'm seeing. But when you're in separate rooms, that's a helpful tool. And sometimes they may even have like a video feed to the producers if they don't have a direct line of sight. This studio, you can see in the reflection that they do have a direct line of sight, which is very, very important, because you need to be able to communicate just body language wise too, between the artist and the producer.
Get better at our craft. I think that's something that the atmosphere provides here at YG.
This is one of YG's main producers.
Okay.
I've been a YG producer here since 2009. I came into the company to work on the first album for G-Dragon. And I've been here for 15 years ever since, and it's been a ride, and it's been a blessing. At YG, I've worked with
I was laughing at that big stack of hard drives.
G-Dragon, 21,
Wow.
Winner, Blackpink, Treasure, and now BABYMONSTer. My name is Choice37, and I am a YG producer.
Cool. So it's like his behind the scenes?
Kind of,
Yeah.
yeah. Since, as far as I know, BABYMONSTer hasn't had the opportunity to produce as much for themselves. So this will be more of the girls in the studio, probably the rappers writing their raps and performing those, making adjustments here and there. But this guy is kind of pretty big hitter over at YG.
Nice. Cool.
Any thoughts on his studio or anything like that?
I mean, it seems like YG has kind of a standard, very nice standard studio with the speakers that they're using. They're all using kind of the same microphones, the same mic preamps and compressors, which are all like the top of the line choices that you would make for those.
Originally, my style of making music, I usually produce music by myself. Around 2017,
I know how that goes. You can spend a lot of time by yourself in the studio, and it can be a little isolating at times. But yeah, they've got a nice sleek studio set up here. You can see just in front of him as the mouse work, he's got this mic pre here, which you plug their mics in, the CL1B compressor. This is a Neve mic pre into a CL1B compressor. That's this like standard pop vocal chain. We use that for OneRepublic a lot. It's kind of the best of the best. And it seems that YG has this standardized across all of their studios, I think, so that they can be in any place and be able to work with any artist in any studio and not have to worry about getting the same sound because they can. It's right there.
Nice.
I guess there was a necessity for there to be more teamwork and more of like a team effort.
오케이, 좋아요. 고생하셨습니다. 잠시만. 네.
So my team, it consists of Little G, Sunny, LP. Little G, he was originally an A&R at YG, and
All right. What is A&R? People talk about A&R all the time. What is it? What does it stand for?
It stands for Artist and Repertoire.
I was wrong. I had a thought in my head and it was not that. Yeah.
So traditionally, they're the people that are responsible for finding artists and getting them signed to a label and then helping to develop that artist. They'll help connect them with producers. The repertoires, they'll help them pick their songs. There's different levels of how involved creatively they will be with the artist. Some are hands off, some are hands on, but they're kind of like the artist's champion at the label.
Oh, interesting. I like that. Artist champion.
we became friends while we were working here. Sunny is an amazing songwriter. He's also a producer as well.
He's using Ableton Live. I use Ableton Live. In the other studio, they were using Pro Tools. Ableton Live is really good for electronic music, programming, having like this vast library of sounds, and being able to access them easily. And it's really popular in the dance world and for live DJing.
Cool.
Yeah.
As well, but he tends to write a lot more here, and he also vocal directs.
뒤로 가면서 좀 약해졌어. 다시 해볼게요.
네.
뭐 ON 정도 따라하면 괜찮을 것 같아요.
네.
네, 그렇게 해볼게요.
And we have LP, who's a beat maker, a producer, a trumpetist, a guitar player, and he's an all-around great musician.
Do you want to tell people how you got your start in music?
Oh, I was a flautist.
Classically trained flautist.
Classically trained.
Children's Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah. From 4th grade until 12th grade, I took private lessons.
We try to make sure that the song is paramount. We try not to let our egos get involved. We try to...
That's so hard to do, is to
What?
not let your egos get involved. Especially when you have multiple people. It takes a lot of just artistic maturity among everybody to do that. So they're probably all very mature musicians and producers. Yeah, I could even see there was a red piano they had on the side. That's a Nord piano. That's like the working man's keyboard for live. So these guys have probably played live music in their lives, and they've probably been doing this for a while.
Nice.
Make sure that what we write and what we make.
Yeah, that piano right there, that's on the side. They're very handy. They're very good, but they're probably using that mostly for writing and not recording. I like their second producer setup in the back. See, they have like a monitor right there. We would do that all the time in the studio. One Republic is we would have Ryan Tedder would be up where Choice 37 is and be like running the ship, and then there would be another producer, usually Noel Zancanella, would be behind, and he would be working on his rig, and then they would be sending the session back and forth or sounds, and it's good to have your tools with you, so that second producer in the back has everything that he needs to make his music, and you need like your laptop because you have all your sounds where you know they are and all of your plugins and different things that shape the audio, and so it's a good way of working collaboratively as producers.
Feels good, and I think that's very important to the YG DNA when we collaborate as a team and push each other to not settle for less. At YG, I think the reason why a lot of the artists are so talented is because, one, I believe that YG picks the most talented artists.
This is a look at their trainee days.
A lot of people kind of talk about this, but it takes a long time for a YG artist to debut.
It's Frita.
But the reason being is that they're continually honing their craft.
Rami.
Working with BABYMONSTER, I think we always knew we were going to work with them since their training days. And it's always exciting just to see the talent that they have, the God-given ability that they have to be able to express themselves through music, dance, and
조금 힘을 많이 쓰는 것 같거든.
Oh, they have. Oh, can you rewind just like a second? Hit play.
express themselves through music, dance, and
조금 힘을
Pause.
많이
This is like a little toy Casio keyboard on the side.
The thing on
Yeah.
the left. I've learned people can't actually see the mouse.
Oh, they can't? Okay.
Sorry, y'all. I didn't know that until recently, but the thing on the left with the squiggles and the keyboard.
Yeah, it's like I'm guessing it's like a Casio old one, and it just has probably like funny little sounds, and it probably has one of the little microphones that you record and sample yourself on. That's something I know a lot of other pop producers will do, just because it makes weird sounds. Not that it's like necessarily good sounds, but sometimes you might
Something
use
unique,
that.
something different.
Yeah,
You
the
can
little
manipulate it later.
transition, or you know, sometimes you want a not as good sounding sound if it's quirky and interesting.
Yeah.
That can be good.
쓰는 것 같거든.
This is Asa.
Yeah, like just said that's much better.
and seeing that like
They're
during the,
using the Telefunken Elam 251 tube condenser microphone. It is like the standard primo pop vocal microphone. I think Celine Dion was the one who kind of made it like the standard. She actually would bring her own to the studio, and they're very expensive. They're like $10,000 to $15,000. But they're very good. They're very good at making the vocal sound really clear and like crisp, and like giving it a little bit of like color and energy in a great way.
I know I've said it on every Treasure episode, but that's why G Money.
Yeah.
He's got it.
I think they probably have 10.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, in like every studio. they
Yeah.
have.
That's
Sure.
crazy. I wish.
the
Someday.
training days, literally there were so many moments where like, wow, they're like monsters. Like, how did they get so good?
스택하고 락하고 되게 비슷해야 되거든 사운드가.
How good they sing or how good they dance, or how much charisma they have at such a young age.
You could be mad at me because 어쩌라고 뭐.
좋은데?
I like that.
좋은데 이거? 여기에서 뭐 재밌는 애드립 하나 넣을까?
거기 뭔가 있으면 좋을 것 같아.
세 개로 그러니까 이렇게 약간
내게로?
아사 뭐 평소에 하는 뭔가
It's funny they said we're adding an ad lib, but you saw them write it in that moment. A lot of people, which I like. I don't like.
Sure.
Sometimes it can work with some singers where they can just try to ad lib and just improvise, but it can also just turn into a bunch of difficult to put together puzzle pieces. So it's really helpful when you actually can kind of come up with a melody as an ad lib. An ad lib is more of a function. In live settings, you know, you can riff and ad lib and stuff like that. And some people have it. They can do it in the studio and create something interesting. But a lot of people just kind of just are stringing together melodies and you're trying to piece together something interesting later. So in that moment, they took the time with the artist, and she did it too, to figure out what the ad lib is going to be. And then now they're going to go and record it.
뭔가 재밌는 거 있어요?
너의 약간 뭐 너가 생각하는 아사의 트레이드마크 뭐 something 래퍼가 있으면 좋은데.
트위스 프로듀서님께서는 이제 랩 위주로 디렉팅을 많이 주셨어요. 저의 약간 장점이나 그런 단점 같은 거를 잘 아시는 분인 것 같아요. 그래서 단점은 어떻게 하면 더 나아질지 디렉팅을 주시고, 또 장점은 또 칭찬을 해주세요.
I mean, that's very mature as an artist to realize that, to know that they have weaknesses and strengths, because we all have to acknowledge that, and you want to find the people that you work with and collaborate it with to have the complementary strengths to your weaknesses, because we're not all great at everything. We got to find our superpower and then collaborate with the people whose superpowers match ours.
너무나 좋은 분이시고 또 같이 작업을 할 수 있게 돼서 너무 영광이에요.
Yeah. 네.
She's got like her studio blanket or sweater on.
I love Ruka. We have matching hair right now.
Yeah, you do. Studios are notoriously cold. So if you ever find yourself in one, bring a sweater.
Yeah. 다시 하고 싶어요. 그 얘만.
라스트 이발레이션 때부터 이제 계속 같이 해왔던 분이셔가지고 되게 편하게 할 수 있었던 것 같아요. 이제 저 같은 경우에는 무대 위에 올라가서 노래를 부른다고 생각하면 녹음할 때 잘 나온다고 해주셔가지고 그 생각을 많이 하려고 노력했던 것 같습니다.
Yeah, it's good to talk about imagining ourselves singing on stage, because it's so hard. You see in the room she's in, it can be very sterile. And you have to deliver an energy with nothing but you and the microphone. They can't see your outfit. They can't see you dancing. They can't see all that body language, your face. You have none of that in the studio. So she's trying to channel it by really visualizing herself singing it live.
녹음하면서 제일 신경 썼던 부분은 아마 프리코러스 부분일 것 같아요.
Okay, so what we're here to do is actually maybe try to pre one more time. You did a good job, like a little bit more strength in it, but like that's the tricky part though. Like, so we've thought of two different ways that we could approach it. We could just have your -12, so do an octave lower of what you did. That for sure. And then maybe find one in between your main right now and the octave low. Okay. Maybe a harmony, like maybe a fifth or something like that. Or
one thing I really admire about a lot of these idols too is you see he's speaking English to her. She's Thai.
Oh yeah.
And then she also speaks English, and then she also has to speak Korean. She's a K-pop idol.
Oh wow, yeah.
So like the amount of language they practice and learn and study, I think is really like admirable.
Yeah, and I mean,
because I can speak like 1.1 languages. If you give me 10% of French and or Korean, but like I think that's really cool.
Right. I mean, he's giving her nuanced notes. So
Yeah.
to do that in your second or third language is impressive.
listen to it and then listen to your take. If you want to redo the take, it might be a good idea to redo the full take as well, just straight from the beginning to end.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you sound better though. I think last time your voice was a little bit more lighter, but I think right now it's good. It has a little bit of weight to it right now. And let's do this. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, she's sounding good. I mean, your voice can change day to day, so she could have been tired. You just ate the wrong breakfast sometimes. You have something too sticky. So yeah, sometimes you have to just come back another day and give it another go. But she's sounding strong here and like clear in her projection.
아무래도 노래가 좀 잔잔하다가 또 빵 터지는 부분이라서 어떻게 해야 조금 더 잘 할 수 있는지 많이 고민을 했어요. 그리고 조금 높으니까 연습도 많이 하고 발성 연습도 같이 많이 했던 것 같아요.
BABYMONSTER's ranges are astronomical.
그 파트가 약간 랩처럼 불려야 된다고 하셨어요.
I think they're all just sharing a blanket. They're all freezing in there. Come in with a beanie on.
그래서 그거 조금 신경 많이 썼던 것 같아요.
When we first started working on SHEESH, it was very organic. Me and Sunny started writing to the verse and the pre, and then we couldn't get a drop, so we worked with LP, and he came in with that drop for Sheesh. And so that drop came in with LP's drop, and that's something that opened everything up. And when we heard...
That's really common that you'll start something and then you'll run into problems. I like that they're talking about that, because making music isn't all just like boop-a-doo, boop-a-doo, you know, just like clicking around on your blinky boards and on your, you know, you see a lot of people actually they'll like make music live on YouTube, but it's all prearranged and they're not really making it. And it, you know, some people can let it flow, but it's not all the time. And you're going to have times you're like, yeah, we got a verse, but we just couldn't figure out the chorus. And so they asked somebody else, and that's really common. So yeah, it's cool that they're showing that part of the process.
That, I think it was just in my head. I was just like, wow, sheesh.
드랍 부분에 가장 신경을 많이 쓰고 있었고요. 그래서 어떻게 해야 강렬함을 조금이라도 느끼실 수 있을까? 열심히 작업에.
So I think we're in like his studio. He has probably a side room. So see, it's smaller. It kind of looks a lot like when you see artists who produce their little side studios. So really bare bones. It's just got a couple guitars, some good speakers, and some keyboards, and then, you know, just need some good ideas.
했던 것 같습니다.
눈뜨기 약간 되게 고급져야 돼요.
고급.
어떤 느낌이냐면 그 악당인데 되게 방금 막 둘러가지고 막.
저 같은 경우는 제 파트가 가장 맨 처음 도입부가 있는데요.
It's really hard to communicate like different emotions through words. So she's doing a good job of trying to decode what they're saying. It can be helpful if you have a vocal coach or a producer who sings, to be like, they can just kind of sing it for you. But if some producers don't sing, so they're just trying to use words, artists can have to try to then decipher that and then figure out what they mean and then try to recreate that. And that can be a challenge.
부분이 소니 작가님께서 엄청나게 멋진 차를 타고 멋진 약간 아우라를 뿜는 그런 느낌으로 불러달라고 하셨는데, 그거를 상상하면서 불렀던 게 가장 기억에 남는 것 같아요.
마음껏 웃어봐 이제 내 차례니까 천천히 불태워 네가 잠든 사이.
That's really good pitch.
사이가 지금 나쁘진 않은데 살짝 그 가짜 감정 같아요. 사 할 때는 이래 좀 그렇게 해도 괜찮아요. 네네네. 그게 약간 되게 킬링 포인트거든요. 사이가.
마음껏 웃어봐 이제 내 차례니까 천천히 불태워 네가 잠든 사이.
Oh, that's good. That little flip, that can be hard to do. And she was doing it really accurately. So
I can't do it, and I'm not going to try. But you did great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, they're all really solid. I think they all, like, you can tell it in their like mask part of their voice. It's all open. They all have good pitch. They have projection and energy without over pushing. So liking what I'm seeing so far.
이야.
신경 안 쓴 파트가 사실 없지만 굳이 하나의 파트를 꼽자면 브릿지에서 라미가 부른 천천히 불태워 네가 잠든 사이, 그 멜로디와 가사에서 제가 의도한 감정을 라미가 100% 완벽하게 소화했어요.
Chiquita has amazing vocal tone. I think it's something that you want to keep hearing over and over again. And she also can rap as well. And I think we haven't shown that yet, but hopefully we will someday.
Feel the music, okay?
하늘이 가르지 우주를 흔들지 말로만 알지.
나쁘지 않거든? 치키타가 조금 더 하면서 조금 더 steady hand flow, 지금 조금 좀 다이나믹이 많거든? 야.
들어봐도 돼요?
야야야.
하늘이 가르지 우주는 흔들지 말로만 알지. 아버님 좋아죠. 그리고 그 뭐지? 저는 약간 말로만 나나지.
나나 그렇게 해도 돼요. 예, 맞아.
하늘이 가르지 우주를 흔들지.
Yeah, they're really breaking it down like syllable by syllable. And so nobody's sang the song before, so they don't know how it's going to be sung yet. And, you know, they're kind of in a way learning the song as they're recording it. And that happens a lot in the studio. And it's a challenge. You have to kind of figure out, how are we going to attack this song? You know, when are you going to elongate the vowels? What kind of pronunciation you use for each vowel in different parts of your range? And it's a puzzle. And it's hard because, you know, when you sing karaoke, you're like, oh, you know, just trying to mimic that artist that you love, but they
know what it's supposed to sound like already. You know the emotions in it.
아, 말로만 안 하지가 아니라 말로만 안 하지. 그 니은을 갖고 오는 거.
Yeah, so he's trying to like help her connect the vowels in the phrase to keep the flow of the air consonant, is I'm guessing what they're working on right now.
말로만 안 하지. 맞아. 하늘이 가르지 우주는 흐르지 말로만 안 하지. 그 가랑 흔에다가 그 액센트 쳐야 될 것 같아. 하늘이 가르지 이렇게? 맞아. 하늘이 가르지 우주는 흔들지.
랩 선생님.
아 진짜로 근데 이 부분들이 되게 중요한 포인트들이에요. 아사가 얘기하는 거.
We wanted to show their range here. BABYMONSTER's range. YG specifically said he wants to show the range of the talents that these girls have. Because BABYMONSTER is so talented and they have so much to show and it's very limiting. Within that 3-minute song, he wanted to show the full range of their talents. And
That's a lot of people
what
squeezed into
SHEESH really
3 minutes.
represents, is to be able to present people just a taste of how deep their range is. So there's like I guess a fun fact for the second verse. I guess we had a different version of it, and I think it would be fun to let you hear it and see how it first started out with. There's many multiple versions, but this version I'm just gonna let you hear. We actually recorded the girls.
Got them all going. Big trap, tick-tock, hit it with the pop-pop. We hot, you not tell 'em when to stop, drop, rap, some
So that was a version that Asa did, and that was the original second verse.
여기를 많이 쪼개가야 돼. 노래 이전에 마지막 부분이잖아.
So you can see YG, he popped up in the last Treasure video when we were watching the behind of Yellow. And you can see what I was kind of talking about there. He's still very involved with a lot of his artists, which I think is really cool. And again, he was an artist before. He's a producer now, producer still. Yeah, so I think it's cool how he gets involved.
Cool, yeah.
여기가 마침표를 안 찍고 되게 애매하게 어중간하게 가가지고 노래까지 안 살아 지금.
어떻게 해야 좀 더 다채롭고 재미있을 수 있을까?
They're just trying to go through every second of the song. That's the tough thing with pop music, is like literally every second of the song has to be engaging and be moving the energy forward, and that's hard. It's hard.
I can only imagine.
좀 고민을 되게 많이 했는데요. 이거 방향은 이렇게 가면 더 좋을 것 같다라고 생각을 하셔가지고 2절 랩 파트도 저희한테 보내주셨는데 이게 좀 더 다채롭게 이렇게
There's Hyunsuk from Treasure. So he helped write a lot of the rap parts for this song as well. So he has writing credits on this song.
해도 갈 수 있구나.
아직 랩 파트가 안 정해졌으니까 일단 3명이 들어가가지고 다 풀로 부를 거야. 그래서 가장 잘 어울리는 목소리를 나중에 조합해서 할 거거든.
3인조로 시시 랩을 한다고 들었을 때 크게 걱정은 없었던 것 같아요. 랩할 때나 보컬할 때 톤이 달라가지고 멋진 시너지로 보이는 것 같고 노래가 더 좋은 것 같아요.
Uh-oh, whispers.
아사는 발음이 좀 말이 안 돼요. 발음이 좋아서 그런지 랩을 할 때 타타타타 하는 게 되게 큰 매력이라고 생각을 합니다.
Oh, that's really good rhythm.
Luca, who's amazing as well. I think she really, when she gets in the booth, she tries to show you her performance. You know, we could hear it in her voice.
One thing about Asa too, who you said you just liked her rhythm, she's also Japanese. So again, just with how much they study and how hard they work in like these different languages, like she's not even rapping in her native language, right? She had to become so from proficient to even expert in Korean that she can now like rap like that in Korean, which I think is really cool. Ruka is also Japanese.
Okay.
So, and they're both of the main rappers, which I think is like a huge feat.
Yeah,
honestly.
that's got to be hard.
Yeah.
The performance she's going to do on stage, that's something that she's good at.
소절 빠른 랩, 멜로디, 랩 투 소절.
진짜 왔다 갔다 한다.
이제 이번에 아연이랑 저는 같이 하게 되었는데
So they gang vocals in every song. You get everybody around the mic, you do the heys and hoes and
And they said she just said that they're going to be rapping back and forth though. So they're probably going to be doing their parts like together.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can change that mic so it picks up in a circle now, and then that's kind of cool. You can feed off each other's energy in the room.
구성이 달라져서 개인적으로 너무 좋은 것 같습니다.
Hey! Welcome back. Happy New Year.
지금 첫 녹음이고 긴장해서 생각한 만큼 잘 안 나오는 것 같아서 좀 아쉬워요.
배럴업이랑 스토킹드미들 같은 경우에는 6인 버전으로 먼저 나왔었잖아요. 7명 버전으로 이렇게 들려드릴 수 있게 되어서 너무 기쁘고 아연이도 이제 합류함으로써 더 멋진 시너지를 보여드릴 수 있는 것 같습니다.
그리고 아현이 같은 경우는 되게 팔색조 같은 친구다 보니까 랩이면 랩, 저음이면 저음, 고음이면 고음 그 어느 파트에 갖다 놔도 전부 다 자기 파트처럼 소화를 잘 하는 것 같아요.
So the second verse and the last hook, we had a lot of issues with it.
Yeah, they're going to do stacks and stacks and stacks of the three of them singing that line over and over and over again, so it sounds like a crowd chanting. Yeah, it'll be cool when they're done.
오케이.
사실 저희가 이제 막사비라고 하죠. 정말 10번인가 20번인가 작업을 정말 계속 많이 했었어요.
That's so hard when you have to make so many versions of a song and like to keep perspective on it and to keep the energy there and to not just lose your mind. Ugh, it is such a challenge for everybody, for the artists, the singers, the producers, the mixers, everybody. It's so hard.
아무리 해도 이게 안 풀려가지고 진짜 다들 되게
Yeah, I know.
막사비 자기가 한번 만들어 볼 테니까 한번 이제 줘봐라 해가지고 저희가 이제 온 거를 딱 들었는데 이거다.
Baby, I'm a monster.
YG wanted to just get hands-on with it, and so he did. He took it home and he worked on the second verse and also the last hook, and we were shocked.
원래는 시시가 굉장히 밝은 무드였는데
수정을 하면 할수록 더 좋은 퀄리티가 나오는 것 같아서
저희의 카리스마 있는 모습이나 무대에서 연출된
I mean, you asked what dark pop was. This song actually is kind of leaning towards a little dark pop-ish.
Okay, cool.
이렇게 살릴 수 있었던 것 같고 최종적으로 만들어진 지금의 이 떼창이 좀 마음에 들었던 것 같습니다.
With Sheesh, we wanted to really surprise everybody. The next songs that we're going to put out, I think we're excited because, you know, we're going to be able to show the true talents of BABYMONSTER more and more. And to be able to just put it into a 3-minute song is very 아쉬워. It's very like, you know, it's very limiting. But then, you know, we're going to do our best to be able to show their talents and show their true colors and their identity. And we're excited to be a part of that.
You can do it.
Okay, I can do it.
You can do it.
To all the YG fans, sincerely want to thank you. Through all the ups and downs, we really appreciate the support. It's because of your support that we're able to make this music and be able to give you something to feel and to enjoy, and we take a lot of pride and we are very grateful for the support. So thank you, and hope to see you guys soon.
Nice.
Seven music production crews. Wow.
Oh, wow, yeah. Song camps are fun. They're exhausting. They're fun, but...
We are going to now watch the music video for BABYMONSTER Sheesh. It premiered on March 31st, 2024, so that Matthew can hear the final product and give his take on that.
All right.
Baby, I'm a monster. Mona and Mona, I see you in slow-mo. You know you're in trouble.
I like how isolated their vocals are. Like, they're not overly layered or overly affected. You can really just hear the artists. And I feel like we're really hearing them. It's not too processed. So it's cool. Like, they really have something going on vocally. All of them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's actually really cool harmonies. They're doing some like seconds and thirds and like some really tight harmonies. I like that. That was cool.
I'll go back a bit. trended big time in the dance challenges.
Oh yeah, I bet. There's so many weird sounds in a good way. I love that where they just drop the full track and then just like come back in a little bit. It's that stuff's so cool. It really stops momentum and then like picks it back up again. Was that when they were going back and forth? Okay.
Yeah, they were going back and forth. It's like the synergy between the two of them. Sounds great.
They did a good job. They have very like distinct tones from each other that I think work well together.
You know what it is, I've been running this, pull up in a ghost, pick up, boo-hoo. Vroom, vroom, 니네 심장이 빡, pop, 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 pedal to the metal. Click, clack, click, put 'em up to the sky, high, high, high. All eyes on me, 불을 질러라. Do or die, all my life. Yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet. Got them all going, shush, 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 shush. Yeah, the ABYMON. Shush, 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 shush. Yeah, got them all going. 마음껏 웃어봐. 이제 내 차례니까.
It's crazy how many different sonic directions a K-pop song can take. It's like having 7 songs in one, where like all of a sudden just here's a bunch of pizzicato violins and it's like a whole different energy, and that's just.
But it keeps you interested. It's like you said, like when they were breaking down every second, like in pop music, it needs to be engaging. It needs to be there. It needs to keep you in.
It's hard. It's a lot of work.
Time's up.
Oh, that was that. Nah, that was that riff right there that we talked about. Tempo change, whole new different feel. There's our gang vocals, and they're all 3 singing at the same time. Stack, stack, stacks. Make it sound like a bunch of people singing. Nice.
Our baby monsters.
Yeah.
They are monsters. Their vocals are insane.
Yeah, they got some really good vocals. Yeah.
Any final thoughts on Baby Monster Sheesh or the production behind?
I mean, I enjoyed it. It's you can just see how much work they put into it, everybody involved, and I think it paid off. Like, it can sound so simple, and it's like, oh, it's just over in 3 minutes. But, I mean, that what we watched was probably a month, 2 months, 3 months of work.
Yeah, from like writing, inception, production, recording.
I mean, maybe not every day back to back. They might set it aside for a couple days and work on a different artist song or a different song for Baby Monster or something. And Baby Monster's also recording different songs at the same time. But yeah, it's a lot of work, and I think they did that. That was cool to see, like how much they had to hit their heads against the wall, but they still came up with something really good. So that's cool to see.
Yeah, like I say, it's not easy to make a hit, that's for sure, and YG knows how to put out a hit.
Yeah, good on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you all enjoyed this video and you enjoyed Matthew's take on the behind the scenes of Baby Monster, you can go back and watch some of our treasure behinds. We'll be putting out more as well. But let us know what sort of behinds you want us to see, whether it's Baby Monster, Treasure, other YG groups, other non-YG groups, other self-producing groups. Let me know down in the comments what you want. I read all the comments and I take all of your suggestions, and Baby Monster was one of the top suggestions for Matthew to break down after Treasure. So thank you all again for your comments. They are always so sweet too. So thank you so much to the Baby Monster fans out there. I hope you enjoyed, and let us know what you want to see. And until next time, we will see you later.